Previously on Darkest Dungeon.
Okay. Well, it was pretty convenient that there were like only 2 rows on the road to the hamlet. So, do you want to proceed further? Okay, who the fuck are you? Just put that thing from your face. You. Why the fuck are you here? Really? Piss off.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. I see I still have to do something here. So, where were we last time? We were in the tutorial mission, and the tutorial mission was quite good. Nobody died. And yeah, let's start with a little thing here. So as you see that also on the missions, you have like these little things here. Oh, you can't see that. Let me put myself into another corner, or put me away for a second. You see those little... Why don't you see a mouse? That's weird. You see those little squares below the Rennekin there. That is the stress meter. Stress is something that is in the game to indicate that you cannot camp in a dungeon or something like that. If on a mission your character gets full stress, he gets crazy, and that is not good. You can relieve stress if you send them to church or into the tavern, which I will get later into. But yeah, that's like the basic gist of that. But first of all... Oh no, we can't do anything right now. I totally forgot.
A mecca of madness and morbidity.
So, here's our first mission.
Your work
And our little objective here is we have to explore 90% of the room. And it is a short dungeon. There are 3 lengths. Short, medium, long, of course. And we have to position our heroes. So that is usually my positioning of the standard group. And they even get, if they have a good, if they work together quite well, you can have like a little group name, like Red Hook, whatever. That are the rewards, you know the drill. Now we have to provision for the dungeon. Provisioning is, in my books, always, we start with 8 food. That's usually what I need for... In the worst case for a normal dungeon. Food is for stopping people getting hungry, and after a time your people want to eat. If you don't have food, you get a damage. Your whole group gets damage. So you need food for that, and also as a substitute heal. So you can heal your characters with food, but it is not advisable. You usually take a shovel or 2 because there are obstacles. I take 1 in this one now, and we take 8 to 10 torches. I take, just to be sure, 10, because I don't really know if like a standard group is as fast as it should be through that dungeon, but you know, stuff. So we're getting in the ruins. And as you see, the dungeon is a bit bigger now. It's not a big problem. We have a few rooms more. And as you see, they get like a little bit of stress more after time. And it gets worse the more the torch is not lit anymore. At the moment we're at 94% torchlight. Every 25% we get a damage debuff, but we get better loot if the torch is has less power. So you can play it both ways, but at the start you should always play the safe option here. You have here an interactable where there's always an unburned torch, so we can light that.
in radiance may we find
It's
victory.
very easy in theory. You just walk forward and fight and explore. There are our first 2 enemies, 2 8 HP enemies. We can take out quite easily. We should not attack with this attack because it deals bleeding damage, and those two have 200% bleeding resistance, so there's no hope that this will ever work. We're gonna AoE attack those two guys. Throw a grenade at this one to damage him a bit. And if my paladin... Oh, she critted. And my paladin should kill the last one in the first turn. Yes. If you crit on enemies, you instantly kill also their corpse. So that is something to keep in mind. The same goes for dots. So it is sometimes better if you want to get the back row to come to the front, to dot them and let them bleed out, or to hope for crit and kill them that way. So the back row comes to the front. Now we have a shovel. Now we need the shovel here, so we can remove the obstacle. If we would not do that, we would lose torchlight and our group gets damaged.
Promise of safety.
Now. So these dudes here in the back row, these are like the cultists. They have a habit of stressing out your entire group, and in addition to that, making your torch dimmer. So that is not good. Not good at all. Our paladin gets a bit, our crusader gets a bit of damage.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
As you hear, the voice actor is brilliant. He sounds so fucking awesome. The announcer.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious
How
killer.
torches work is every little square you go on the map here, like this, the torch gets a bit dimmer. So we have the possibility between two rooms, one with a treasure chest and one with a potential buff. So we're going into both rooms probably, but I will start going into the treasure room. Even though, in hindsight, that was a stupid choice. There's a little satchel. Oh no.
If only treasure could staunch the flow
So,
of otherworldly
my paladin, my crusader, has a bad habit. So every character has good and bad habits. I will go into that later. They are called quirks. They can be positive, they can be negative. And he has a negative quirk that he is a kleptomaniac. So he has the brilliant idea of stealing shit that lies around. Sometimes. It's not good. Okay. Now, we have a buffer dude in the front and like one little skeleton there. I would prefer to attack this one. Dot him. Smite the one in the back. And... He gets 2 damage and that adds 4. Yeah, that one is down in the first round. That is good. Now he wants to the CPU wants to stress out my... the CPU, the NPCs want to stress out a bit my paladin. My crusader. I say always paladin because I played World of Warcraft the last 2 days. That was not good. One dodged that attack. We're doing AoE damage. And killing him next turn if the dot applies. So there are also, as you can... Oh no, he resisted that. There are also pull and push abilities, which change your, like, your order in which people are in those groups. And why are you dodging 3 times this round already? Stop dodging.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Okay, let's light another torch. Do we have a key? So you can use items to, for example, open chests, which is the key. That removes the possibility of it being a trap. And you get a bit of
Glittering
loot.
Gold, trinkets and baubles.
Baubles.
Paid for in blood.
So it's in theory all is like skill checks and stuff like that. It's a bit like a pen and paper RPG with a little group that you throw together. So there's a trap. I can only see that when a scouting proc happens. Characters have a scouting chance, and if you like in a D&D or something like that, if you roll the dice correctly, you can scout the next rooms ahead, which makes questing easier. And every one of my characters has a certain chance to disarm the trap. So I take the highwayman and disarm the trap with a 90% chance. Gonna light another torch because I don't want to have it hard on the first dungeon with like a level 1 half, like a split level 1 and 0 group. Yeah, and on each thing, like we had another scouting proc, which is great. There's another trap. Let's see the trap again. And yeah, you get the gist of the game. It's very fun, and the art of the game is very cool. Like for an indie game and a 2D game, the art looks brilliant, not like the pixel bullshit you see all over Steam. Let's stun the crossbowmen because they do kind of big damage. And deal AoE damage on those guys. I want to try to take out as many enemies in this turn already as possible, so I can negate as much damage as I can. Sadly, yeah, that guy survived that. The last guy had to dodge that already, again. How many resistance he gets? So, when you stun an enemy to prevent perma-stunning, a unit gets 40% stun resistance on a successful hit. But he has only 50%, so we can try that again and get him stunned another time. Now he has 80% stun resistance, which is kind of higher, as you may think. Now, my character has not the benefit of hitting anybody. So we get rid of a few corpses. And try to kill this arsehole ASAP. Okay, he dies. He dies to the blight, and yeah.
Unforeseen, unforgiving.
So I want to have him hit the holy fountain. And we found a bit of gold and onyx. Oh, that's 1000 gold in total, which is nice. Now we can go for this curio, or we can go back. Going back into an already visited room will not reduce your torchlight as much as it does. I think it's only 1% instead of 5%. Which is okay. Open the container.
A fortune.
Oh!
Waiting to
Much of many rations. Like, I have 80 now, which is more than I will ever need, so I can heal up a little bit. You see, the heal is only 2 per eaten food, and characters have later 60 health. Some of them. So it's nothing, in theory. At the beginning, yeah. And here we have, like, the food regeneration mechanic. So...
As the light gains purchase,
at the moment I'm bombing you with information, but we are doing the dungeon to the fullest now. We want to see what's in the last room. Maybe there's something interesting, maybe there's not. And we can lose our second shovel. Good that we found one earlier. Because now we would have like a little health disadvantage. Bam! Chest! And I'm surprised, which should not have happened. So, this one is a smaller version of the other guy, of the other mage dude who dodged all of my hits earlier. And these are all like skeletons, so bleeding damage with this attack does not do anything. So we're gonna buff up. And we try to get our Crusader to the front and our Witch Doctor dude to the back. Not Witch Doctor, Plague Doctor. She can bash. Because she's now in melee range. Which is okay. Stop doing that to my Plague Doctor. Okay, he has to move forward. Thankfully, most of the dudes are dodging at the moment. And wounds are not taking over after a dungeon. So I don't have to worry about damage. I have to worry about stress, however. Which is why I stun both of them, because he does tons of stress damage. And we don't want to have psychopaths running with my other dudes. We're going to buff him again up. Buff stack to a certain degree. So you can buff stack a little bit and, yeah. You know the drill. Let's attack him first. And he helped me actually, because I don't have to move again forward to get my Highwayman onto the second spot where he belongs. Let's dot them both. Well, the one dodged, but he will die in this round. So we can refocus our entire damage to this one.
As the enemy crumbles.
That one died. But my Highwayman got pushed to the back more, which is not bad, but it's... I wish he wouldn't have done that, because now my healer is way back and she can't heal properly anymore. She can only group heal, and that is very, very minuscule. Let's do a bit of AoE damage with him again. That's what he's very good for. He can deal tons of AoE damage, and the melee attacks are not bad either. But, yeah. Let's dot him, because when he gets out of the stun, he's already dead. Goodbye. That crit was very good, because now my Crusader can attack him, and the fight is won. And the loot is not bad. So let's open the chest, and it's trapped, sadly. But he resisted the bleed that he would get out of that. And that was the dungeon. So we get a big like a huge ton of gold out of that. A bit of Resolve XP, which is the level system, which I will get to later when they are higher level. But at the moment, they're leveling up. So that's what you need to know.
In time, you will know the
Yeah, now we get to the quirks, but I get to that technicality in the next episode. Because this one is over and we're a bit over time. So I would say see you on the next one. Goodbye, ciao, auf Wiedersehen. Peace.